Hey there, Dr. Luke here, and what we're going to do is an external rotation PAILs and RAILs functional range conditioning class for beginners. At the start of the video, I'm going to demonstrate technique. So if you already know technique, just fast forward to the start of the class. Let's go. Okay, let's talk about CARs, controlled articular rotations. We want these movements to be slow and controlled, very deliberate and slow and smooth movements. We want it to be within the pain-free range. No sharpness or pinching within these ranges. And we want to irradiate body tension. The intensity will change depending on what you're trying to achieve, but generally about 30%. We're really trying to work out what range of motion and workspace that you have and what space you have ownership over. So let's demonstrate CARs. Okay, shoulder CARs, let's breathe in and irradiate. Start off in external rotation where we have the palm facing out like this. Breathe in and irradiate, coming across the body. Keeping the elbow nice and straight. Come up into full flexion as far as you can. Once we feel a roadblock there, then we want to internally rotate. Continue to internally rotate and fight for internal rotation while you're trying to make the biggest circle possible. Keep going, extending back and back to your side. Your palm should be facing out. We want to now extend. Now we find a roadblock there. Now what we want to do is externally rotate. Continue to externally rotate, creating the biggest circle possible. What ownership do you have of that workspace in that pain-free range? Coming back into this position here. So let's go to the side position. I'm going to now externally rotate. We're going to come across the body. Coming up into flexion, we'll find a roadblock here. Now we want to internally rotate. Continue the internal rotate. Fighting for that internal rotation. Coming back, nice. And to your side, palm facing out. Externally, we want to extend. Now externally rotate once we find that roadblock. Continue to externally rotate. Find the working space that you have, coming down and forward across the body and into this position here. So what we want to do is making sure that as we come up, we're not extending our spine, we're keeping the elbow nice and straight. As we're coming back, we're not rolling the shoulders. And also when we come around here, we're not rotating the spine. So we only want the working joint to be moving. This is very important. So that's how you do a shoulder CARs. Okay, external rotation base for PAILs and RAILs. We have our blocks down on the ground. We're laying face down. We want to get in our passive range. So this is my active range. I want to bring a block under here to get myself into my passive stretch. Like this. The PAILs contraction is going to be pushing down into the blocks, creating internal rotation, and my RAILs contraction is going to be creating external rotation. I'm going to try and make my hand lighter off the blocks, but this is an isometric contraction. I won't be moving the joint here. So PAILs contraction, pushing into the blocks like this. RAILs contraction, lifting my hand off, making it lighter, like this. We can also do both sides, the right and left shoulder at the same time. That would look like this. Okay, so that's the external rotation base for PAILs and RAILs. External rotation base, if you're having difficulty laying face down on a yoga mat, we use a bench or a table. Yoga blocks, arm at 90 degrees. We want to find our active range, bringing our elbows down onto our knees here. That supports the back. And then we want to get into our active range. Now I need to get into my passive range, so I bring the block up here into this position, finding the best possible stretch and the lines of tension. Our PAILs contraction is going to be pushing down into the blocks. We're going into internal rotation. Our RAILs contraction is going to be trying to lift our hand off the blocks, going into external rotation. So that's an external rotation base for those that find it difficult to laying face down. Okay, external rotation base for the shoulder using a dowel, bringing a towel so that you're squeezing your elbow close to the rib cage, holding the dowel, bringing it into external rotation, feeling for the line of tension. Our PAILs contraction is going to be pushing this way into internal rotation. Our RAILs contraction is going to be pushing this way into external rotation, but we're doing isometric contractions here. So this hand will be resisting our contraction. So PAILs contraction would look like this, pushing, and RAILs contraction would look like this, going into external rotation. Great. External rotation base using a dowel. Okay, another external rotation base on all fours using a dowel. What we want to do is get on all fours, 90 degrees shoulder here, 90 degrees at the elbow. Find the best stretch we can in external rotation and find the line of tension. Our PAILs contraction is going to be pushing the dowel into the floor. We're going to be doing this motion. Our RAILs contraction is going to be trying to lift the dowel off the floor in external rotation. So that's the base. External rotation, PAILs and RAILs. After we've done our PAILs and RAILs, it's really important to stimulate the receptors around the joint doing capsular cars. That allows us to get that spatial awareness and active control. So what we want to do is go into axial rotation. We want to internally rotate and externally rotate. Internally rotate and externally rotate. Really slow and controlled, and at the end ranges really squeeze quite hard. Bringing our arms up into 90 degrees, we can do these internal and external rotations, stimulate our joint capsule in different positions. So that's our capsular cars. Okay, let's start off with shoulder cars. Breathe in and irradiate. Externally rotating, coming across the body. Flexing up, find that roadblock. Internally rotate and fight for internal rotation. Slow and controlled. Extending back. Fight for external rotation. And come down into that neutral position. Searching for our workspace, the space that we have ownership of, really explore that. We're going to do 4 reps on each side, that's 2, coming up for 3, and last rep 4 on this side. Making sure we're not compensating in any areas, we're just working the working joint there. Great, coming over to the other side, breathing in and irradiating. Coming up into flexion and then fight for internal rotation. Continue to internally rotate. Extend, now we're going into external rotation. Slow and controlled, just explore that space. That's 1. 2. Also making sure that we're going within the pain-free range. No pinching or sharpness. That's 3 and last rep. Great. 4. PAILs and RAILs, external rotation base. Set up your yoga blocks. Getting into your active range or your passive range. Set the timer, 2-minute stretch. What we're trying to do here is breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth. Our exhale should be twice as long as our inhale. And we want to just try and relax into that stretch. Okay, 1 minute, another minute left. I'm going to count you in for our PAILs and RAILs in a minute's time. So keep relaxing, breathing, getting into that stretch. Okay, 10 seconds. We're going to be pushing down into the blocks, doing our PAILs contraction. Count you in, 3, 2, 1, contract, 20% of strength. Moving up into 40%, 60%. Now going into best effort. Keep going, keep going. Best effort here. Really intense. 3, 2, 1, opposite contraction, rails contraction. We're making our hands lighter off the blocks. Keep going, keep going. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Just get into the stretch again. Find the best lines of tension. Move around if you have to get into a new stretch. This here is a 45-second stretch, and so just doing your breathing and relax into it. Okay, 10 seconds. I'm going to be counting you in to do our PAILs contraction again. 3, 2, 1, contract 20% of your strength, building it up. 80% now, best effort now, contract into the blocks, isometric contraction. Safe and best effort, 3, 2, 1, opposite contraction. Rails contraction, make your hands lighter off the blocks, keep going, keep going. This is the hardest contraction here. 3, 2, 1, and relax. We want to get into our new stretch. Find the lines of tension. Letting everything go and breathing in through the nose
out through the mouth. Our exhale should be 2 times longer than our inhale to stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system and get into a restful state.
Great. 3, 2, 1, and I just want you to
Get out of the stretch nice and slowly, pushing the block away, and now we want to do our lift-offs. So our lift-offs, we're going to externally rotate. We're going to do 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want you to hold up into external rotation. Keep holding, keep holding. 15 seconds here. Keep holding into that external rotation position. We want to give our nervous system experience in this new range we've just opened up with our PAILs and RAILs and stretch. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Fantastic. Now just slowly getting off the blocks. You should feel that you've had a deep stretch there. Move around and let's go to our capsular cars. Bring our arms out into this position, and axial rotation. We're going to internally rotate. Squeeze that internal rotation and externally rotate. Internally rotate and externally rotate. Internally rotate and externally rotate. Again, this is giving our nervous system some information, stimulating all the receptors around the joint. It's helping us to be able to get control and ownership of our range. And so we've got to stimulate our nervous system, get our nervous system to recognize that we can get into this range of motion safely, and that we can have active control in that range. Great, another 2 reps, internally rotate, externally rotate. Excellent, let's go into our shoulder cars. 4 reps on each side, starting off with our right shoulder, externally rotating, breathing in and irradiating, external rotation, into internal rotation, fight for that internal rotation. Now, what range do we have ownership of now? What's the best possible range that we can get in our shoulder? 1. 2. 3. Explore that range of motion, slow and controlled. What new range of motion can I get in that pain-free range? Good, coming over to the other side, breathe in and irradiate. Come across the body, externally rotating. Keeping that elbow nice and straight, no compensations. Explore what movement do I have ownership of in my shoulder.
That's two more. Great, and last one. Okay, well done. External rotation, PAILs and RAILs, functional range conditioning. Remember, consistency is the key for adaptation, for your tissues to get the best response from your training. So keep it up every day, choose a base to work with, and controlled articular rotations every day. Keep it up, well done.